Yeah, so Jauan's still working through his calf issue, making progress. Sorry. You know, we're kind of like everyone else, hopeful but not sure, you know, on week one, and you know, we'll proceed as such. And so we're working to get the best mix out there. We added a piece today, and you know, in MVS, Marquez Valdez Scantling, and thrilled to have him part of it. And you know, we move forward.
You guys have mentioned his MRI in the past. Do you guys see progress with that, with the imaging that's been taken on the calf?
Yeah, you don't image a guy like daily, you know. So that's something that happened a little bit ago, and you know, if it doesn't get better soon, I'm sure we'll be doing more of that.
Is it worse? Is it worse than you originally had thought it was going to be?
Yeah, but I also, you know, calves can take a long time. That's one thing with that injury. Played with guys who they can take a while. So.
John, I'm sure you may be aware that there's been some conjecture that there's more than just a calf going on, given his desire for the contract and everything. Are you convinced when he is healthy that he'll be ready to play?
Well, there's a lot that goes into that, Eric. You know, ideally, everybody has a training camp. Everyone's out there. You know, that's a perfect world. But you know, he's been putting in work to the side, and we'll have to make that judgment when the time comes. You know, the other thing is both things can be true. You know, he wants a new contract and he's got a hurt calf. So I think people want to assume one or the other. Both things can be true.
When you make your decisions on the wide receiver position specifically, do you have to do it assuming you might not have Jauan for the first few weeks?
I think we make every decision on this roster with so many things in consideration. So yes, of course.
Has he asked to be traded?
You know, a while ago he did, but that was a long time ago, and we've moved on from that.
That was during camp, or was it before?
I'm not getting into when it was, but it was a while ago.
What about Russell Gage? Is he any plans to bring him back?
Yeah. Gage will be out there today.
Okay.
Yeah.
On the practice squad?
No, he'll be on the 53.
You mentioned a couple weeks ago that there would be definitely movement, it's fluid, given the number of injuries and positions. How hard is it to start looking at week one, knowing that there's still moves to be made, I mean, there's some positions that look pretty short right now. As a coach plotting for that, how difficult has that been?
I mean, it's always difficult. You know, it's difficult in week 8 when you have a bunch of guys go down the week before too. And you're sitting there and you don't have those guys on practice squad, and you're not sure how you're going to put it together, but you find a way to figure it out and show up the next Sunday. So, you know, a week 1, it can be a little bit different, but these are times that you go through always as a coach at some time of the year. I'm glad that we have gotten a lot of our injured guys back. Some joining in on practice on Monday. We'll have more out there today. So hopefully we'll keep having better luck with that.
And this is a team that's had great chemistry, obviously, but it's also had some contractual issues in the past. What does it tell you that Jauan did ask to be traded, and how does that change the way you think about him or the way he exists on this organization?
No, that doesn't faze me at all. I don't think it has anything to do with team chemistry. That only has anything to do with how we approach each other, how we spend our time with each other. That has to do with business decisions, and those are the business decisions people make. But I don't look at any of that stuff. When you get a tweet of that while you're on vacation, and I don't get the tweets, but when people copy a tweet and send it to me, that's about all I get, and I usually move on with my life.
John, when you said he did ask for a trade a while back, has that trade request been rescinded?
No, he asked for it, and we've moved on. We're not doing that, so we're moving forward.
Well, what is his contract? One of the contract sites says that he has incentives baked into that contract that he signed. Does he have performance-based incentives?
I think that report, somebody put that in front. That was from last year. So those are things that he's already earned from last year.
You mentioned you're not going to trade Jauan. Are you negotiating with him or waiting for him to come back simply?
We keep those things we have throughout the offseason, and we'll leave it at that.